The United States is the largest economy in the world, with huge cities, the largest companies, and buildings. Although the image of big cities is characterized by skyscrapers, other parts of the country are characterized by old worn-out subways, huge airports and highways, so infrastructure is one of the things that needs development. But what else does the world's largest financial center want to build? After looking at megaprojects in many other countries, today we look at the largest megaprojects in the United States of America. Number 10. Gordie Howe International Bridge. At 853 meters long, the Gordie Howe International Bridge will be the longest cable-stayed bridge in North America when it is completed in 2025. This massive infrastructure project, which connects Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario, Canada, costs $6.4 billion to build. The aim is to reduce congestion on the nearby Ambassador Bridge, especially for commercial trucks. With 6 traffic lanes and a 12-meter wide pedestrian walkway, the Gordie Howe International Bridge will allow for greater cross-border traffic to accommodate the expected increase in traffic over the next few years. On both sides of the US-Canada border, both countries are planning to build the largest border crossing facilities in North America to streamline international travel. Number 9. Chicago Airport Expansion. Chicago Airport is the 9th busiest airport in the world with annual yearly passenger traffic of 70 million. In 2019, the airport expansion project began with the cooperation of, among others, United. The big-ticket items include an all-new global terminal, 2 new satellite concourses for Terminal 1, and a complete renovation of the current Terminal 5, but there are about 100 other projects in the pipeline, many of them small but significant. Improvements, such as parking garages, new water mains and electrical distribution systems. This is a long-term plan. The work will not be completed until 2028, but similar to the runway upgrade, it will be completed sequentially. Some parts of the renovated Terminal 5 are already open to the public, and the total investment is $8.5 billion. Number 8. Brightline West. In 2018, a real estate development company opened a privately developed rail line in Florida between Miami and Orlando. This line is known today as the Brightline, but it was apparently very successful, as soon the company announced that it would build a 351-kilometer rail line between Las Vegas and Los Angeles on the west coast of the country for $12 billion. These are 2 large cities, between which you can currently travel by plane in 1 hour and 10 minutes, while by car in 4 hours, and by train this distance would be reduced to 2 hours. The project was even supported by the US government with $3 billion, and construction will begin in 2024. After that, it will be ready by 2028, when it will operate as a revenue service, a privately owned railway. Number 7. Legends Tower. The United States has always been at the forefront of high-rise construction. In 2001, after a terrorist attack on the Twin Towers, the question arose of building a new skyscraper in New York, today known as One World Trade Center. With its height of 541 meters, it is the tallest building in the USA. Now, citing Oklahoma City's expansion, construction is beginning on a new tower that will be the next tallest building on the continent at 581 meters. Developments related to the project have been announced for years. Previously, for example, it was planned to be 1.8 kilometers high, but this was rejected. Construction will begin in 2026 and it will be opened in 2030. The tower will also be associated with a mixed-use district. Otherwise, Legends Tower will have 134 floors and thousands of apartments around it. The total investment will cost $1.6 billion. Number 6. Hudson Tunnel Project. New York is the largest city in the country. More than 10 million people live here, and the roads and bridges are busy, as well as the city subways and railways. This project would provide a better rail connection between New Jersey and New York by building a new tunnel under the Hudson River. Construction of the new tunnel is expected to begin in earnest in 2024, with major construction efforts expected to ramp up once preliminary work is completed and final financing agreements are in place. The planned completion and opening is expected by 2035. The Hudson Tunnel project is a generational investment that is expected to create 95,000 new jobs and cost roughly $16 billion to complete. This also improves the city's traffic. Number 5. Secound Avenue Subway. New York is actually very busy, and its subway network is currently one of the largest in the world. Now, however, a project would reduce Manhattan's traffic to some extent. The project, known as the Secound Avenue Subway, will be implemented in several stages. The first one is opened in 2017, and the Secound one is currently under construction. The problem was that the section just a few kilometers still cost $1.7 billion per kilometer, and thus the entire project, which would go all the way down to the southern part of Manhattan, would be built in 4 sections, and thus the total investment costs $17 billion. The construction of the project is justified by the terrible condition of the city's tunnels, the continuous crowding of trains and, ultimately, the lack of subway technology. The project is currently underway and will be fully completed by 2033. Number 4. John F. Kennedy Airport expansion. Of New York's 3 main airports, JFK Airport is the largest, which is also the 13th busiest airport in the world, with 62 million passengers a year. Now the airport is undergoing a complete renovation at a total cost of $18 billion, including 23 new gates for several terminal projects. The modernization of Terminal 8 was completed in 2022, while Terminals 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 will soon progress and be completed around 2030. Recently, the Terminal 1 project came to a halt, and the airport recently celebrated the start of the third and final phase. Meanwhile, construction will begin on the $4.2 billion Terminal 6, a 1.2 million square meter area with 10 new gates. Together, these terminal transformations will help JFK Airport accommodate more aircraft and passengers while facilitating faster and more efficient travel. Number 3. Texas Central Railway. Texas is one of the most populous and largest states in the United States. It has 6 major cities, and is now one of the richest thanks to the oil fields. To reduce car traffic on the busiest Dallas-Houston line, it would be necessary to create a railway, which is the Texas Central Railway. This would be a high-speed railway in the United States, 390 kilometers long. The railway's technology is based on Japanese Shinkansen trains and N700S trains, which will also run when ready, at a travel speed of 299 kilometers per hour. In the beginning, it was a great pleasure that it would be implemented, but in 2023 Amtrak finally took over the developments related to the project, and in 2024 the Japanese government and Joe Biden also support the implementation of the project. The costs are estimated at $33 billion. Number 2. Sound Transit 3. The second largest megaproject on our list will be built in Seattle, Washington. In 2016, an election was held in Seattle regarding the expansion of regional public transit, and 54% of the vote was in favor of the expansion. The planned $54 billion rail line would primarily include the expansion of the existing subway network into the suburbs, creating a 187-kilometer, 70-station network that would transport 660,000 people daily. I plan to implement all of this between 2024 and 2041. In addition, railway stations will be developed, express bus services will be launched, and parking lots will be created. The goal of the project is essentially to reduce traffic jams, and to make the city and the old part livable. But it has received a lot of criticism, as it is intended to be implemented from local taxes, and many see it as pointless. Number 1. California High-Speed Railway. California is the most advanced economic and technological center of the United States, the headquarters of the world's largest companies, and many large cities are located here. But the main San Francisco-Los Angeles section can only be done by plane at the moment, roughly 1 hour 25 minutes. A train would do this in 3 hours, while it is possible in 5 hours by car. In addition, the train would be more environmentally friendly and compatible than air transport. The problem is that the country currently only has such a railway between Boston and Washington. High-speed travel is not so well known here. This is why the California High-Speed Rail Project was created, which would be delivered in several stages, the first in 2033 between Merced and Bakersfield. By 2040, the length may even reach a total of 1,200 kilometers by extending it to other major cities. The price of the entire projects can reach up to $100 billion. Of course, there are many more projects under construction. What do you think about these buildings and infrastructure investments? Write your answer in the comments, and if you liked it and would like to see more content like this, be sure to support our channel with your subscription. Thank you for your watching. See you in the next time.